Welcome to Finish First Financially. Goran Radanovic here with a question from Reddit. I'll quickly read it and then give my take on it as what I would do in terms of the situation. Obviously, it's not financial or investment advice. It says, I'm in my mid 40s in the middle of a divorce. House is selling for 540,000, hopefully. Purchased in 22 for 650,000. I might end up with 30,000 from the sale. We own a property worth about 100,000 in my wife's home country. She doesn't have enough money to pay me my half of the value. About 250,000 in my IRAs, 401ks. I make about 65,000 a year working in banking compliance. We share joint custody of our 5-year-old son. I'm so depressed. I thought I would just easily buy a new house from the sale of our existing home. But home prices are back to pre-COVID levels from the comps in our area. Should we rent our house out for the next few years instead of selling? The rent would be $3,400. Mortgage is $2,800. No guarantee house prices will go up in the next 2 years. I don't really want to borrow or withdraw from my retirement as I'm already in my mid 40s. I don't know what to do. First of all, what I can say to you is the things usually seem, when you're in the thick of it, they always seem a lot worse. It's like this little thing comes up and this bigger thing, and then when you put it all together, it seems like it's really bad. But once you zoom out, and I'm specifically talking about your financial situation, you will see, I believe you really will, that it's not as bad as it seems, and that there is actually hope for you. Now you're in your mid 40s and you might feel like you're starting all over again from square one, but you've still got 20 plus years until your retirement. So it's plenty of time to have a home, hopefully paid off by your retirement, which is possible, and have savings. So don't freak out. Now, let's take it step by step. Okay, so this house that you've put on sale, you're asking, should we rent it out? You're getting a divorce from a person who you clearly couldn't live with. There were some problems. And now you want to own property with that person. For me, if I don't like someone, if we're not on the same page, why would I be in business with them? It doesn't make sense. We're bound to clash heads. So in this case, for this specific house, if I was in that situation, I would definitely sell it. I would also sell the $100,000 home that your wife owns. It should be split 50-50 or however the courts decide, but you should definitely have something from that home if it works out like it's supposed to. But the point I'm trying to make is that I would not have any contact with this person that I can't deal with personally. Why would I want to deal with them professionally? Especially when now there's money involved. There could be expenses that come up for this home, and now she says, "Well, I don't want to pay this much," and it's going to create a mess. Best is to take the money, to sell it, and to take the money and go in your own route. Start from scratch, but at least you're going to have this peace of mind knowing that you're going to lead your life in the direction that you want. Now let's look at some of your expenses. Some of the money that you could possibly get. With the $250,000 that's in the IRAs and the 401ks, that becomes obviously the contributions throughout the marriage become part of marital property, and that should be split as well. But it might not be a case of where you get half of the 250 because remember there's tax and legal implications. So just keep that in mind. But you should definitely get something from that money as well. And you should get something from the money from the sale of your house, from both of the houses. So when you add all of the sales and the contributions that you're going to get from the retirement accounts, you should have a decent amount of money at your disposal. Now, you're asking about should be renting this and that. If I'm starting out from scratch and I've got money to put down for a house. Now, remember, I'm completely anti-debt, but the only debt that I do recognize as acceptable is a house mortgage, because you can in bad times sell the house and then hopefully you won't be in negative equity, but it's just at least you've got some kind of leverage on this loan that you've taken out. If you take out a personal loan and you can't pay it back, well, what are you going to sell? At least with a house, you can sell it, and it's an asset that you usually should be able to sell even in tough times. So that's why I say that's kind of like my only acceptable form of debt. So now, if you take the money that you're going to get from the sale of the two houses, and then obviously from your retirement account, you want to keep that, you want to carry on with those contributions so that you have money for retirement, but you'll still have something from the sale of the two homes, plus you're making $65,000 a year. There's no reason for you not to be able to put down some payment and take out mortgage. That's what I would do in this situation. And you will be a homeowner. You will be the head of the household, and you're going to have peace, and everything is going to work out the way you want it to. You're going to conduct that household the way you want to, without having any distractions from a person that you can't deal with. So don't think that you're in a bad situation. It seems pretty bad right now, and it's tough, and it's not how you wanted it to work out, but everything happens for a reason, and this might be a fresh start for you. And just look at it. It might be difficult to, but as a blessing in disguise. And that's usually what negative situations are. They really are blessing in disguise. Just keep in mind, you've got an income. It's not a bad income. You should be receiving money, and buying a home is not out of the question, even in your mid-40s. So you've still got 20 plus years to your retirement. By the time you retire, you should have significant savings and your house paid off. So how is that a bad thing? Look at it like that, because that's how it is. If you want to know about my story and how I lost everything and rebuilt myself up again, you can check out my book, From Homeless to Debtless with Savings. I'll put a link in the description box below, and I wish you all the best.